All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to yet another session of OSTA Weekly Huddle. I'm glad to be back. It's good to see you all. And the session that we are going to have today is I'll just share my screen and show and share with you the agenda of today's meeting. So basically, this is what we are going to cover today. One is what is artificial intelligence, and why you should say no to analysis and yes to making money. After that, we will have the customary market outlook and action plan for next week. We'll have the Q&A session, the question and answers. And after that, we have a few announcements to make. That is what that's where we will end. So I believe it's time to start. The others can join as and when it is convenient to them. So I wish to start with a very interesting subject, that is what is artificial intelligence. Because ultimately, once you need to understand it, and only then you will understand that why it no longer makes sense for you to make analysis, to do the analysis, to do the manual analysis that you have been doing all along. Right? So this presentation that I'm going to do today is self-explanatory. So at the end of the day, you will understand what we want to say. So what is artificial intelligence? So basically, artificial intelligence, simply put, artificial intelligence is the process of getting a machine to perform the tasks that are the exclusive domain of human intelligence. There are tasks that only humans can do. It is only possible for humans because of the intelligence that they possess. Such tasks, if the machine can do, it is called artificial intelligence. Okay, artificial intelligence is a lot of people have a misconcept that artificial intelligence is a supercomputer and it can outthink human beings. That is not the case. We have not yet reached that stage. Probably we are still 20-30 years away from that stage. So currently we are somewhere between weak and general artificial intelligence stage. So for any layman, this is enough to understand what is artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence is the purest form of intelligence, right? And now I know this sounds like an insult to human intelligence, right? A lot of people would take offense also to this statement, but I will explain to you why artificial intelligence is the purest form of intelligence. Because with human intelligence, you get all these things. Okay, so on the left hand side, we have enumerated all the things that come with human intelligence, and on the right hand side is artificial intelligence. So with human intelligence comes impulse. Okay, you have impulses. Some people are very impulsive. They take very impulsive decisions. Some are very quick to take decisions. So there are people who are instinctive. Instinct. They say, "Arey mujhe lagta hai." "Arey, I think that this is the case." "Arey, I think that is the case." So there are people who are instinctive. Judgment. Okay, judgment is a very big factor because you have to take the judgment. So once you take the decision, you are judgmental about your decision. Sometimes you are judgmental about others' decisions. So you are judgmental. You always judge your decisions after you take them, right? There are some people who judge their decisions even while they are in the process of making the decisions. You have emotions. Okay, that plays a very big role. Emotions is a very important aspect of human intelligence, because human intelligence and emotions, they are intertwined, and we don't come to know when we mix the two. It is very difficult to demarcate. It is very difficult to say at what point of time the two got mixed. Okay, so you have emotions. We all know what kind of emotions we have: greed, fear, anger. There are so many emotions that play, and they are always in the background, whether you like it or not. Decision making is a very difficult process. For some, it is very, very difficult. You will understand how difficult decision making is when you are in a group of friends and you decide to go out for dinner. You decide to go out for dinner and you ask the people, ask your friends, where should we go for lunch or dinner? And everybody says, okay, you suggest something. Okay, let me look up something. It is very difficult to make a decision. It is sometimes simple things. It is very difficult. Housewives would agree. because they have to cook every day. So when they have to cook, the decision what do I cook today is a very big decision they have to make. So in the morning they will rack their brains for 1 hour to ultimately decide what they are going to cook for lunch and what they are going to cook for dinner. So this decision making process is very critical when it comes to human intelligence, because there are people who can make very quick decisions. There are people who can take ages to make decisions. You have past experience to contend with. Okay, we all have past experiences, and those past experiences always play a part in our taking a decision in the current times. So whenever you are taking a decision for now, where it is your always you have past experiences that play a very important role. अच्छा, मुझे वो last time ऐसा हुआ था, तो अभी मुझे ऐसा नहीं करना है. This so and so thing happened in the past, so I'm never going to touch this. I'm never going to do this. Okay, so these are all factors that are not that do not add to your intelligence. Okay, they only hamper your intelligence. They only impede your intelligence. Then there is something called as prejudices. Okay, bias and prejudice. So you have your bias, you have your prejudices. मैं ये नहीं करता हूँ, मैं सिर्फ ये करता हूँ. I don't touch this. I don't like this. I don't like that. You have your prejudices. Outside influences. There are outside influences that. I am told that my screen sharing isn't on, so probably that is something that I missed. Present now. Your entire screen. Yeah, someone is presenting. I don't know. I mean, there's someone who's presenting. So if okay, so I believe now you can see my screen. Right. So with human intelligence, like I was saying, you have outside influences, you have factors influencing, you have your friends, you have your relatives, you have the people you idolize, you look up to. They are the people who influence you. Some people have a lot of who have a lot of influence on you, and you tend to think very, very highly of their opinion. So if they say something, it is like it is like the thing for you, the thing for you. अरे इसने बोल दिया तो मतलब then it is done and dusted, right? Feelings, feelings come along with your emotions, along with your intelligence. So all these things you have to contend with along with your intelligence. So when human intelligence, you have to contend with your impulse, your instinct, your judgment, emotions, decision making, past experiences, your bias and prejudices, outside influences, feelings. Whereas artificial intelligence is only intelligence. It is devoid of any instinct. It is devoid of taking impulsive decisions. It is devoid of judgment. Decision making, it is not a problem for it because it is designed to take decisions, right? So decision making is not a problem for it, right? Artificial intelligence is something that learns with past experiences. Unlike what happens with us, with past experiences, sometimes we tend to unlearn things. Sometimes we tend to avoid things, which is not the case with artificial intelligence. It does not have its biases. It does not out there. It cannot have outside influences. It does not have feelings. Okay, so that is artificial intelligence for you, right? So artificial intelligence thinks linearly in one direction. So what is artificial intelligence? It is designed to think in a particular manner. It thinks linearly in one direction. Whereas humans, they have a lot of things on their minds, and they are they think in all directions. You understand, right? It happens with all of us. Whenever we think, there are so many things on our minds that sometimes it is very, very difficult to focus on the things you're doing. There are you're thinking about your business, and you're thinking about your personal life, and you're thinking about something else. You're thinking about your finances. You're thinking about your bank account. You're thinking about that EMI that you have to pay. But artificial intelligence, it thinks linearly. It thinks only in one direction. It is programmed to think in a particular manner, and that is the only way it thinks, and it is focused on performing the task that it is entrusted with. So it is focused on performing one task. So if you program your artificial intelligence to perform a task, that is all it can think about. It does not have the power to think about anything else. It only thinks about that, right? Whereas like I told you, the human mind thinks in all directions and in many ways. Humans often have a lot of things on their minds, and their decision making is impaired by their feelings and their state of mind. Okay, your state of mind has a lot of bearing on the way you think, because if you are angry or if you are frustrated, then you don't think intelligently. Uh, in Hindi there is a saying, they say gussa akal ko kha jata hai. Now what do you mean by akal? Akal is intelligence, right? So your anger kills your intelligence. So if you have emotions, feelings that are that impair your intelligence, and they don't let you think straight, right? All these factors are all these issues or problems or challenges are not there for artificial intelligence, right? So what we say is, we say no to analysis, or we say goodbye to analysis and yes to making money. Now, why we say that you should say no to analysis, right? For the simple reason that in today's day and age, with the arrival of artificial intelligence, some visionary people realized that the process of stocks analysis could be automated, right? They understood that this process, which is done manually, it could be automated. Now, along with automation, this process could be made highly efficient and result oriented. Okay. So it not only could be automated, but it could be made highly efficient, and it could be made result oriented. So what do we mean? What do we mean when we say result oriented? Result oriented is, it can help you in taking decisions right away. Okay, they are actionable outputs. They are outputs that are actionable, on which you are supposed to take action. There is no process involved between the output that is given and the action that is supposed to be taken. You don't have to think. You don't have to apply your mind. You don't have to apply any other factor. Nothing else. You just need to take action. That is what we mean by result oriented. So if you indulge in manual analysis, you still wish to indulge in manual analysis, understand that you have to contend with the following factors. Now, what are these factors? One factor is your skill set. So you have to acquire a skill set for you to do anything. Anything in life, you have to acquire a skill set. So even when you wish to do analysis, you have to acquire a skill set. Now that skill set, you have different skill sets for different time frames. If you're an intraday trader, you have to acquire a different skill set. If you're a short-term trader, you have to acquire a different skill set. If you're a swing trader, you have to acquire a different skill set. If you're a long-term investor, you have to acquire a different skill set. So you have to acquire that skill set. You have to look at your propensity. What is your propensity in terms of whether you're a trader, whether you're an investor, whether you're a high-risk taker, whether you're a low-risk taker. So your propensity also matters a lot. Again, the factor that we discussed earlier, your biases and your prejudices. मैं ये स्टॉक्स में ये सेक्टर को हाथ नहीं लगाता हूं, मैं खाली निफ्टी 50 में ही ट्रेड करता हूं, मैं लॉन्ग टर्म ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करता हूं, मैं खाली ऑप्शंस ही करता हूं, मैं खाली इंट्राडे ही करता हूं. All kinds of prejudices that you have. Your confidence level. Confidence level is a very important factor, because some people, no matter how much they do, they are just not confident enough. No matter how much analysis they do, no matter how many charts they do, no matter how many reassurances they have, they will confirm their studies with n number of people, with n number of other factors, but still they will not have the confidence to take action. Right? So confidence is a very important factor. Some people, they, no matter what they do, they are always confident. I don't know from where they get their confidence. We always have this. Had these friends in school. जो पढ़ाई में कभी अच्छा नहीं हुआ करता था, but you see them on the day of the exam, then they are always very confident. Everything is sorted, everything is fantastic. So you wonder, how come मैं इतना पढ़ के आया लेकिन मेरे को इतना confidence नहीं है लेकिन इसको इतना confidence है. But there are all these kinds of people, and we all fit in some category or the other. So our confidence level also matters. Your decision making abilities. This also we have discussed earlier. Your decision making abilities also matter. So once you have done your analysis, then the decision making is up to you. You still have to make the decision. So no matter how good an analyst you are, no matter the kind of tools that are available to you, no matter the skill set that you still have to take the decision. Now, believe it or not, this decision making ability is so tough, it is so hard that a lot of people end up becoming analysts and they don't end up becoming traders. Okay, so they end up becoming good analysts. That is where they end, their journey ends, because the decision making ability is not there. So when the time comes to actually making trading decisions, they are not able to take the decision. So they end up becoming good analysts, but they don't end up becoming good traders. Right? Your emotions play a very, very, very important role in your trading, in your analysis, not in your trading, in your analysis. So you have your emotions. 2 दिन बैंक निफ्टी में पैसा बनाया, the third day you are only looking to trade in बैंक निफ्टी. Right? It happens with all of us. Isn't that true? It happens with all of us. 4 दिन इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग में पैसा बनाया, 5th day you call up your friend and said, बॉस अभी तो मैं इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग ही करेगा. I have forgotten long term trading. मेरे को सब कुछ नहीं करने का, मेरे को इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग करना है. What are the emotions associated? The emotions associated with that are greed. Okay. Sometimes the emotion associated with is fear. So you say कि अरे मैं आज के बाद में इसको हाथ नहीं लगाएगा, आज के बाद में मैं stop loss without stop loss में trade नहीं करेगा, and all these emotions come into play. The availability of right tools is a very important factor. So depending upon the skill set that you have, what kind of charts that are available to you. So if you acquire a different skill set and you see that your chart, your charting software does not provide you with those tools, then you are looking for some other software. Okay. So you're looking to buy that software, and then once you have that software, you have that tool, those tools available. You learn something else again. You want to have those tools. The availability of time. The time is of essence. There is only so much time as it is available to us in today's day and time. We don't have time for personal hobbies. We don't have time for ourselves. We don't have time for our families. So in these times, taking out time to read charts, to do the analysis is a very, very, very important factor which cannot be ignored. Countering outside influences. So even though you are a fantastic analyst, you have the skill sets, you have the right tools, you say you have the time, but again there are so many outside influences that are playing a part. You see TV and somebody is saying something, you read a news article and somebody is saying something, your charts are telling you to go long, somebody is telling that aane wala time bahut kharab hai and they want you to go short, or they want to have a bearish outlook on the market. Outside influences, you have to counter outside influences also, plus approval from other sources. So this happens with all of us. We would all be lying if we say that is not the case. Whenever we have done our analysis, whenever we have arrived at a conclusion, we always look at approval from other sources. अरे मैंने ये देखा, मैंने ये चार्ट खोला, मैंने ये ट्रेड निकाला, तेरे को क्या लगता है? What do you feel? Then you will call somebody else who you think is an expert and you will say कि अरे मैंने ये ट्रेड आइडेंटिफाई किया है and मुझे लगता है कि यार मतलब देश इसमें बहुत पोटेंशियल है, तुम्हें क्या लगता है? So why do you ask those people? Because you are looking for approval. So once those people approve and they reassure you कि yes, हाँ ये सही बोल रहे हैं आप, then your screen is still visible. Okay. Mr. Dharmesh Pandya, I think you are presenting in between. So there is some issue there. Okay, I hope you'll sort it out, but I believe my screen is still visible to you all, right? So we are all looking for approval from these other sources. So why change with the changing times? we all need to change with the changing times. So with changing times, machines have rendered the exercise of physical technical analysis needless, redundant, and an exercise in futility. Okay. So what machines have done is they have rendered the exercise of physical technical analysis, they have rendered it needless. It is a needless exercise. You don't need to do it anymore, right? It is redundant. What do you mean by redundant? It means outdated. So physical technical analysis, looking having four computers in front of you, having four kinds of different charts, and doing different kinds of analysis, and putting all the bringing all that analysis together, and has somebody muted me? I just got a message. Just give me a thumbs up if everybody is able to hear me and see my screen. Unable to see presentation, you are on screen. Now screen is visible? Yes? No? It tells me here you are presenting. So I'll just try and see what I can do here, because it is telling me that you are presenting. Yeah, now it's good. Can you see my screen? Is the screen visible? My entire screen, is it visible? Yes. Okay. So I'll start the presentation again. So this process of technical analysis is outdated. Okay. It is no longer relevant, and it is an exercise in futility. So if you still want to do it, it is a futile exercise. It is a time consuming, and it is a time wasting exercise. See, we don't. The idea is not to be disrespectful to anything. Uh, there are a lot of people who do a lot of good analysis out there. They work very hard on their analysis. They are very proud of their analysis, but you have to understand that with changing times you have to change, right? I remember when we first started indulging in technical analysis softwares, and we were devising these softwares, and we were marketing these softwares. We used to have people come in and say, old people, around 55, 60, 65 years of age, and come up and say कि नहीं, हमारे बाप दादा तो ऐसे ही करते थे, हमारे बाप दादा ने कभी कंप्यूटर को हाथ नहीं लगाया, तो हमको कंप्यूटर चलाना आता भी नहीं है, हमको ये सब चीज में बिलीफ नहीं है, right? Basically what they are saying is, they are saying that we are not willing to change with the changing times, right? And those very people we see today moving around with laptops. So the ones who said 10 years back that they don't need computers and they don't need software, the same people you see today subscribing to 3344 software, attending training sessions, learning technical analysis. And so they changed with changing times. Some people change fast, some people are very swift, some people take their own sweet time in changing. But at the end of the day, everybody has to change. You don't have a choice, right? So technical analysis is redundant. It is an exercise in futility. You have to understand today. If you don't understand it today, there will come a point of time when you will understand and you will accept this reality, maybe reluctantly, but you will accept this reality. So hence this heralds a new era of artificial intelligence. where the scope for human intervention in the process of analysis is obsolete, right? I have shared this in my last session also, that the scope for human intervention is no longer there. The machines have taken over, and it is time for us to hand over the part of analysis to the machines. It is time for us. See, this is a very good time, because machines, what they can do is they can democratize the markets. They can bring everybody on a level playing platform, on a level playing field. So today there are analysts who are so-called experts in the stock market, and there are young people, very young people, who are just in and who have access to these kind of machines, who have access to these kind of softwares. Don't you think it is a wonderful thing that everybody is at par? Now, no longer there is no hierarchy that I am an expert and you are a novice. Now today nobody is a novice. Nobody nobody needs to say that I am a novice, because the expert is the machine, and once you have that machine in your hand, you are an expert. Every person with a mobile in his or her hand is an expert today at operating the mobile. Isn't it so? Right? The power of intelligence is in the mobile. All you have to do is just click. Everybody knows, even a 5-year-old kid knows, that if I press this button on my mobile phone, my game, my video will start. Okay. So just like the mobile has democratized the availability of these social media tools to everyone, these machines will ultimately democratize the stock markets. There will be no hierarchies from now on. You don't need to say that so and so is an expert and so is a not an expert, and so is a novice, and so is a newbie. That will no longer be the case, right? So if you're still doing manual technical analysis, our sincere advice is, don't stress yourself, because technical analysis is very stressful. Believe me, in our last 10 years, since 2009, 11 years, we have seen so many people who are so stressed about the analysis part. Every other month, every 2 months, we see them attending some other session, trying to learn some other technique, trying to learn some other indicator. So one person attends our training, and then we travel to Delhi to attend another session, conduct another training. There we meet the same person, in the same hotel, and we ask him, why are you here? अरे मैं वो इचिमोकू पे एक ट्रेनिंग है, वो अटेंड करने आया था. तो अच्छा, तो लास्ट टाइम आपने जब हमारा सेशन अटेंड किया था, तब तो आपने बोला था कि अभी मुझे कुछ सीखने का जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा. तो नहीं, ये है ना, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अपना स्टॉप लॉस को थोड़ा और पावरफुल बना सकते, या अपने टेक्निक को थोड़ा और पावरफुल बना सकते, तो मैं इचिमोकू सीखने को आया हूँ. So after that, some people then they started following that super trend. Some people follow Elliott waves. There is so much stress out there. You stress so much with your analysis, and then you test yourself, because every day is a test of your skills. Every day is a test of your decision taking ability. Every day is a test for yourself to do the things rightly, to do whatever you have been doing day in and day out. So it is you need to test yourself. You are testing yourself every day. I've seen traders, one good week, the entire week they have got a fantastic week, they made a lot of money. One bad day, and they think, they become judgmental. They start testing their strategies again. They test themselves again. Maybe mera psychology barabar nahi hai. Maybe I did this thing right. Maybe I did this thing wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have done that. And lastly, don't burden yourself, because all this testing and all this testing, it adds a lot of burden to you. Okay. So don't burden yourself, because there is something much more powerful doing it for you. Why do you want to do it yourself? Okay. Don't burden yourself. The washing machine is there. Do you still want to be the laundryman? आपको धोबी के जैसा काम करना है क्या? Washing machine available है. तो आपके घर में अगर washing machine है और आप washing machine से कपड़े धो रहे हो, and imagine you walk down the lane and you see some housewife doing doing laundry the way our ancestors used to do laundry. और कूट के धो अपना कपड़े पटक पटक के धो रहे हैं. What would you think? What is it honestly, that would go through your mind? That मतलब आप सोचेंगे कि यार मतलब वॉशिंग मशीन अवेलेबल और आज की तारीख में लोग ऐसा काम करते हैं. So that is exactly what what again, the idea is not to be disrespectful, but the idea is to be to accept the fact. The fact is, the machine is here. You don't have to be the laundryman. So when we translate it to the stock market, the artificial intelligence, the algorithms, the deep data analysis, everything put together, the machine is there. You don't have to become the analyst, right? So if you are Aladdin, then artificial intelligence is the magic lamp and Shasva is the genie. So what Aladdin did, Aladdin got the magic lamp. He used to rub the magic lamp and the genie used to come out. And the genie used to say, Hukum mere Aka, right? So you ask Shasva and Shasva is your genie and it will tell you everything. All you have to do is just ask Shasva, what is it? And Shasva will tell you. So you are Aladdin now. You are in possession of the magic lamp. So if you are Aladdin, why do you want to behave like the common person, roaming around in the streets? So with that, I think I come to the end of this presentation. I hope you all have enjoyed this presentation. And now we have a very interesting session, that is the market outlook session. And I hope Dr. Shoaib is here. Aja, okay. So for some reason, Dr. Shoaib has not joined. But now we will have the market outlook session. So the market outlook this is an exercise. This is a weekly exercise that we do. So I hope you all remember what happened last time around when we did the market outlook, and Pashin told you that what he expected of the market. Now a lot of it again it was not opinion. We don't have opinions. Although we do put a disclaimer when we are saying that this is my personal opinion, but ultimately it is not an opinion. It is knowledge that is derived from the charts. So if we go to the market outlook, now the simple thing is, again, I don't have to rack my brains here. We have something called as the market outlook, and it is really such a beautiful thing that it tells you everything. Now you see, this is the market outlook. And if we go to NSE, so last week when we saw this market outlook, in the short term it was showing upward, right? And only the strength was high. The stability was not. It was not stable. It was weak, and the consistency also was low. That means it had just gained momentum. And if you remember, it was indicated very clearly that this is just a trend. This is about, it's just trying to pick up. There is not much that we read into this. So our what we anticipated, like we have been saying time and again, this is an anticipative system. So we anticipate. So we anticipated that this will not last because there was no stability and there was no consistency, and that is exactly what has happened. Now again, in the short term, the market is coming down. Same, I think, would be with NSE futures. NSE futures is the same thing, right? Everything is going down in the short term, medium term, and long term, right? So I don't think there is there is too much to be discussed, or there is too much brain racking to be done here. It is very clear. The machine is telling us the reality. It is telling us what it is like, and just by looking at the market analysis, we know what it is looking like. So the big question here is, now what do we do? As traders, investors, what do we do? Now, we are getting a lot of people asking us, that is it a time to buy for the long term? are stocks too cheap, and is it a good time to do some bottom fishing, to buy some stocks at the right time? Our advice, our sincere advice would be no. Okay, it is a no, and it is a big no, because you know, other than analysis, other than your view of the market, there is something called as common sense. And if you use common sense, you will know that this is not news based, or this is just pure common sense. You understand what is going on in the world today, you understand what is going on in the economies today, you understand what is happening with the businesses, you understand what is happening with the banks. There is there is so much going out there. It is harakiri. It is basically, it is pandemonium along with the pandemic. So it is common sense, you have to understand. And we have still to realize the full effect of what is going on. We don't know how long this will last. We don't know whether it is another 2 months, another 3 months, or another 6 months, or another 1 year we are looking at, right? So the market analysis itself, the machine is telling us that it is not a good time to do any of this. Now, as a trade as a market participant, then what do you do? As a market participant, the best thing to do in current times is to reduce your time frame, to reduce your risk, to reduce your your market, I would say, horizon. So if you have a long horizon, if you're looking to trade for mid-term or long-term, bring it down to short-term. Don't look beyond too far. Don't look at 2 years, 3 years. We don't know exactly what is going to happen, because it would be pure conjecture. It would be pure speculation if you are trying to ascertain what is going to happen in the next 2 years or 3 years. Some people think smart and they want to act smart, and they, again, not being disrespectful, but people want to think and act smart. If pharma industry is going to do very well, and let's invest in pharma. But again, this is pure speculation, right? We don't know who will come out with the vaccine, and what will happen post that. We really don't know. So bring your horizon down, bring your time frame down, bring your capital down, and bring your risk capital also down. Trade short term, very short term. I would suggest trade intraday, or at the most you trade short term in futures. Why futures? Is because you can go short only in futures. So probably in the coming days, in the coming time. Now, I'm not trying to portray a very bearish figure here. I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to instill panic that everything will go down. That is not the case. But we have seen what the market outlook looks like. We are seeing, like I said, common sense tells us what is going on in the market today, in all the countries today, in the entire world today. So considering that, you have to understand that you will have to go both long and short in the current scenario. So to go short, you need to do futures. You need to trade shorter time frames. Bring your time frame as short as possible. Maybe like I said, intraday or a couple of days. You end the trade, get out of the trade. Don't take the stress of carrying the trades for too long. Then there might come a time. There may come a time, I am saying, that you will have to go all short. So you have to be ready for that. Shaspa gives you the flexibility, the power to trade intraday, to trade Nifty, Bank Nifty, everything. So if you seriously intend to participate in the markets in the current scenario, then our sincere advice would be to do short-term trading, very short-term trading, and trading, not investing. This is not the time to invest. Okay, it's the time to be smart. It is not the time to be over smart. Okay, don't overkill with your analysis that मतलब 2 साल में ये हो जाएगा और 3 साल में ये हो जाएगा, and ये stock आज इतने सस्ते में मिल रहा है, 10 रुपए में मिल रहा है, ये 40 रुपए हो जाएगा. All this is speculation. It is not the time for speculation. It is the time to do pure action. And if you want to do action, then what you need to do is you need to act on whatever the recommendations that are coming. Do short-term trading, put little money, put little on risk, have a very small risk appetite, and trade, and it will hold you in good stead. That is our advice to you. So now I think with this I've come to the end of this presentation. We will have this Q&A session. So everybody who wishes to ask a question, any specific question that you may have, you please either you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can type your question, and we would be more than willing to answer. Yeah. Any questions? No questions whatsoever? Acha. So Milind Joshi sir says you are awesome, sir. No doubts left. Oh, thank you so much. Gavin Roderick says significance of Shakti. See, Gavin, Shakti, it measures the immediate strength of the stock. How much strength the stock had at this point in time. So Shakti it needs to be positive whenever we enter a trade. But again, having said that, it is all factored into the uh, the recommendations that you get, the trade setups that you get. Everything is factored in. Everything. Okay. So if you are really interested in trading, if you take your focus off the analysis and on the trading, then all you need to do is just wait for the trades to come. Once the trade comes, whether it is a nifty, bank nifty, stocks, short, long, just go for the trade. All this Shakti plus Snowball, all our other algorithms, everything is factored in. Everything is factored in. Plus, there is more, because when I say more, that means there is risk analysis that is done. The software calculates what is the risk on this particular. If the risk is too high, if the volatility is too high, it will pass the trade. So it is all this plus and much more. Like last time I had discussed, the whole is more than the sum of its parts. So when you look at parts, it can be powerful, but when you put it all together, it is massively powerful, right? So uh, uh, is it okay to trade with reco of RT scanner? I did not understand this question, sir. Is it okay to trade with reco of RT scan? What do you mean by reco, sir? Can you rephrase the question? Recommendation. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. That is what I do. That is what I do. That is what you're supposed to do. In fact, so all I do is the entire day is wait for trades to pop up. Once the trade pops up, I take it without any fear or favor. Okay. See, it is an actionable plan. It is a point of time where you are supposed to take action. तो वहां पे आपने आपका दिमाग खोल दिया और आप सोचना चालू कर गए, तो आप again you get into that process of analysis which we discussed. Again you are getting back to reassurance. Again you are getting back to your prejudices. Again you are getting back to judgment, being judgmental. So it is an action plan that we are giving you. You just need to act. Okay. That's all. It's as simple as that. I mean, I know for a lot of people it sounds too simplified. It sounds too simple, but believe me, it is that simple. That is all I do the entire day. all I do is I wait for the trade to pop out. The moment the trade pops out, I take that trade with the stop loss. That's it. Finished. End of story. That's it. Yeah. Anything else? No questions? Okay. So lastly, I think before we end this session, I said we have a few announcements to make. So one announcement is we are, because of this lockdown, as you know, we are having these continuous sessions of online courses. Gavin says in RT sometimes the price has caused peak or drop. Do we still take the trade? No, preferably no. No. If it is you know, if it is very close to the peak or drop, maybe you can still go for it. But yeah, it is not advisable if the price moves significantly beyond the peak and trough. It is really not advisable to go for the trade. Bata is showing short as per day and long as per weekly chart. What to do? If you wish to go long, then Bata is you need to buy. If you yes, it is as per Kairos, right? I think it is as per Kairos. So in the shorter time frame, Bata is a short. In the longer time frame, Bata is for you to go long. So if on a weekly chart, we are looking at a horizon of more than 18 months. So if your horizon is more than 18 months, then probably Bata would be a buy for you. But in the short term, it is a short. But now, as I said, I would at the cost of being repetitive, I would like to tell you, please don't look for long-term investment. This is not the time. The time will come, and so what Milind Joshi sir says is look for the risk appetite. That means I think he's saying in terms of the price crossing the peak and trough. So just see what is the risk still, and if the risk is still manageable, you can enter the trade. That is a very good way of looking at it. So if you're looking to buy something and it has already crossed the peak, if you can still analyze the risk. Okay, this is the risk, and if I am still able to take that risk, and it is still manageable, you go for it. Okay. So for as for the announcements, I would like to say is since this lockdown is extended, and it seems that it is going to be extended indefinitely. What we are having continuously, we are having these online sessions. So if you have any of your friends, relatives, anybody who would be interested in attending these sessions, please do recommend them. They are absolutely free of cost, and there is a lot to learn, I believe. Please do attend these sessions, and we are going ahead. We are planning to have these Q&A sessions, which will be only question and answers. Okay, so we are still trying to work it out if we can have two sessions, one where the mentors do their presentation, and the other will be purely question and answers. So in the other session, we would not have anything else but pure question and answers. You just come in with your queries, and you have your questions will be answered. It can sound very silly to you, but if it is on your mind, you can ask that question. We are still working on it, and once we have the schedule, we will come back to it. Do let us know on your feedback on this, if whether you would like to have one contained session like this we are having right now, or we need to have two sessions. Maybe we can have half an hour sessions. One session is like this, where the mentor presents, we have the market outlook, and we have the action plan for the next week. And one session would only and only be for Q&A, only question and answers. Okay, so this is something that we are looking at. Do give in your suggestions. You can give your suggestions on the WhatsApp group that we have, Shastrians, no problem, so that everybody gets to see. Right? So thank you all so much. It was a pleasure connecting with you all again. I enjoyed this session. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed conducting this session. And hope to see you all next week. Stay home, stay safe, and also trade safely. Okay, protect your capital, and protect your financial as well as mental capital. Thank you all so much. Bye. Have a nice weekend and have a good day, a good week ahead.